Hey everybody, I'm coming live in my group Intuitive Angel Messages on Facebook, and today we're going to be talking about the Schumann Resonances and why do they keep spiking on Earth. And for those of you that don't know a whole lot about the Schumann Resonances, I've got a little bit of a descriptor that I'm going to be saying it off to each of you. I don't know a whole lot about the Schumann resonances myself, but that's okay because you don't need to know a lot about it. I'm just here to channel guidance from the other side in regards to it, right? So I don't have to be book smart about and or know a lot of knowledge about it, because the knowledge that I'm going to be receiving is coming from somewhere other than myself. So my guardian angel, Agnes, will be assisting me today. I am back from Kauai and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a good rest, a good break, and that's really important to take, is when you feel like napping or you feel like taking a day off, that you do it. Or if you feel like taking a couple weeks off, you do it. It's really, really important. Happy Sunday Fun Day. So, Schumann Resonances. Hey guys, do you know a whole lot about the Schumann Resonances? Put your hands up if you do. I don't know a whole lot. Hi Cheryl. Hi. So, I know some of you know a lot about the Schumann Resonances, and I know a lot of you will have questions about it. Hi. Okay, so a lot of people, they're looking at the Schumann resonance spikes in conjunction with Ascension and light codes. If some of you didn't know this, they're interpreting it as really what you would deem as being, something concrete to look at, saying, oh, this has to be in conjunction with the Ascension Waves and or light codes that are coming in to the planet. And the other things that I've heard in conjunction with Ascension and light codes or Ascension Waves is, the sun having larger bursts of, energy coming from it. I've seen and heard a lot, and I, like everybody else, I'm seeing and hearing a lot, right? But what's most important is that when you're seeing or hearing or reading anything, is that you sit in stillness and see how it resonates with you. That's the most important thing. Most of us just get triggered, or we just go with the first thing that we get and it hits us and we go and we get really sensitive about it. What's most important is that you observe the information that you're receiving, take that time with that stillness within and see, does that resonate with you? And your higher self, your team of angels, your spirit guides are all guiding you in that moment, whether or not to pay attention to that or not, whether to listen to more of it or read more of it or not. So that is really, really important in life, okay? Okay, so here we go. For those of you that don't know a whole lot about the Schumann resonances, I'm just going to give you the Google description, and then you can just put that back into your data bank before we get channeling. And for those of you that know a lot about the Schumann resonances, I'm really excited about you asking questions, okay? So, I haven't done a whole lot of research on it. I haven't read too much on it. I posted a post on the group wall a few days ago, and I said, hey, everybody, read up on this before I come live on Sunday so that you guys have more information before coming into this live. And for me, I never gave it much thought other than, oh, that's just a identifying descriptor of the ascension waves coming in. That was just the only thought that entered my brain. I never thought of it being anything else. Now I know that there are comets, the Thatcher comet that came near the planet, and I know that that also created a spike in the Schumann resonances, right? So what is it? What's happening, and why does it keep happening? Because we have seen so many posts about the spikes that are happening, right? So I think that's kind of interesting. And we're going to find out some more info on this. Okay, so here we go. Are you ready to rumble? Because I am. Schumann resonances occur because the space between the surface of the Earth and the conductive ionosphere acts as a closed waveguide. The limited dimensions of the Earth cause this waveguide to act as a resonant cavity for electromagnetic waves in the ELF band. In 2017, January 31st, 2017, for the very first time in record history, the Schumann resonance reached frequencies of 36 plus hertz. Okay, that's more than 5 times the increase in the resonant frequency levels. Okay, so when you talk about a spike in the Schumann resonances, in 2017, it went 5 times what it normally goes. Very interesting. I do recall in 2017, I kept being told by Spirit that my ascension would begin. I was like, okay, sounds great. And I didn't really understand what that would entail at that time. What they told me is that energy would start to come forth through my crown, my heart, and my solar chakras, and start to fill my vessel. So high vibrational frequency energy would start to permeate my vessel. And I went, okay. And that it would begin September 1st. And I went, yeah, okay. And I remember that day vividly. It came in so strong through my stomach. I felt like I had the flu. So interesting. Same year my ascension started. Some individuals, their ascension starts back in 2012, 2015. So really 2017 is kind of laid on the board. Really, guys, come on. But you have, vibrationally, energetically, it's really about being ready for these waves of frequency to come in through your vessel. Previously to this, my frequency was a bit lower. I was drinking alcohol. I was eating rubbish. And clearly I wasn't ready to anchor this frequency through my vessel, right? So, who determines when ascension is ready? The energy around you, your higher self. And that it's not going to begin until, you are ready for that vibrationally. Because if you're not, it's going to be a bumpy. And some people aren't ever going to be ready, and they are, exiting the planet at this time. Some people are exiting the planet, and it's their time to go. It's their time to go because it will be very uncomfortable for them. I think 2 channels ago that I did, the guidance that I channeled was, for those who aren't ready for ascension and this energy anchoring through your vessel, it'll feel like you're squirming in your own skin. It'll be very uncomfortable for you. So I found that kind of interesting. Okay, the global electromagnetic resonance phenomenon is named after physicist Winfried Otto Schumann, who predicted it mathematically in 1952. It occurs because the space between the surface and the Earth and the conductive ionosphere acts as a closed waveguide. Fascinating. Okay. Most of the widely reports of this happening come from Russia, and there's also a network in Italy and stations in Japan and numerous other ones around the world. Okay, so there are stations set up analyzing this all around the world. And how cool is it that this is now, you'll see posts in spiritual groups like crazy lately about this, because people are wondering, why is this spiking? Why? Okay. So I remember last night I was channeling my guardian angel. I said, who's going to channel the guidance through for this? And she says, I'm going to take this one. And I said, what do you think about this? And she says, well, I'm about to relay some information that some will state is not accurate, or they don't believe in that, and others will see that it rings true or that it resonates with them. And she says, those are the ones we're attempting to reach, Kristen. I'm like, okay, sounds good. All right. So I have a few questions about the Schumann resonances and why are they spiking at this time? And if anybody has any other questions about it, feel free to post and I'll come back down the line and make sure to answer your questions, okay? So Agnes, why are we noticing this increase of spike through the Schumann resonances? So what she's saying is that it is showing the increase or spikes, waves of ascension waves, incoming energy that is washing over the planet. She's also showing me, in my mind, there was a post that I had seen once, and these scientists actually showed this wave of energy coming up to the planet, and the planet got really knocked by this energy, and then it washed over the planet. I think that was in 2018 I saw that, and I was like, well, I don't know, that's I mean, you're seeing it, they're talking about it, they have pictures of it, just like they have pictures of, you know, that they show us of the Schumann resonances. I think that's quite fascinating. Okay. There's going to be a time when we won't be wondering or second guessing or curious, wondering why these spikes are occurring. She's also talking, what she does is she shows me the Schumann resonances and she goes like this with her hand. So basically what that's telling me is that the Schumann resonance spikes are going to increase. And she's giving me a thumbs up. So I'm just going to see if she wants to say anything else about it. She's talking about the electromagnetic field around the earth and how we each have electromagnetic field around each of us. And when the field around the earth is interrupted, shall we say, she says, this also impacts and affects our electromagnetic fields as well, as this energy is meant to do so. Some of the symptoms that we may experience from this interruption, temporary waves of interruption, are nausea, lightheadedness, our mood or temperament may shift. It may drop for a time. Anything else? And a lot of the ascension symptoms that you guys have seen me talk about, and you can go back and look at those videos on my YouTube channel. And I put the link just above, and I'll put it into the description of this video as well. So you can check out my YouTube channel and read up or watch more about ascension symptoms. I have one that says ascension symptoms. So what's really important is to ground yourselves close to the earth. Get outdoors in nature and eat rooted vegetables, high vibrational, good quality fruits and vegetables. Take very good care of yourselves. Rest and relax when you need to. And she says, thank you, dear ones. Okay. All right. So Tina's question is the Schumann resonance also called the electromagnetic halo of the planet? That's fascinating. I mean, I suppose that's a great descriptor of it, isn't it? You know, I haven't read up on that myself. She says you can describe it however which way you wish. That's Agnes. So really, it's really just this energy that is washing over the planet, and it is being captured within this, you know, this resonant frequency, right? It's fascinating to see that somebody in 1952, you know, Winfried Otto Schumann was the one that even noticed this. I think it's just brilliant. So now here we are, fast forward since 1952, okay, and now we're noticing it to jump 5 times. Some of these spikes are huge. I don't know what they are recently, but they are like on the charts, like just huge. And I find it fascinating how, you know, we first noticed this in 2017, and now here we are in 2020, and we're really noticing this. Coupling with ascension symptoms and ascension, awakening on the planet. How do you know when you're awakening? Does anybody have the answer to that? Okay, great. Oh, thank you guys. Christine's asking, will we be getting used to those waves, like our bodies adjusted, would not be affected in the future? I've asked the same question. The answer that I get is that your body is going to become, I guess you could say, more acclimatized to these waves of energy coming over, washing over the planet. Thank God, because there are times where you have heart palps and anxiety and nausea, and you're just sitting there like it's you know, in the very beginning, it was a bit bumpier in the beginning for me. I felt like it was very uncomfortable for me, whereas now it's a bit easier for me. But I definitely notice what happens is you'll get the waves, and each of us is on our own path of ascension. So some of us are anchoring more and some of us not as much. And what's happening is, so I'll notice I move up to the next step or the next vibrational frequency, and I'm getting this amount of it in my vessel. And then I have to adjust to that. And that might take 6 months, a year. This is what I've noticed over the last 3 years. And then what happens is, then the next year, starting usually in spring, for me, it's always like January, February, and then I get another level of it. And then I'm just having to adjust to that. And ascension is going to be a slow process. Has to be. You can't do ascension quickly. It'd be too much for us. So how do you know when you're awakening? Does anybody know? If you're sitting there going, well, am I awakening? Judy's saying, I've heard fasting may be helpful at this time. Is it so? It's not necessary. The angels, your spirit guides, your loved ones, the ET starseed family members that are here watching over you, prefer that you eat lighter, high vibrational foods. So instead of, sitting down and tucking into bacon and eggs and some pancakes for breakfast in the morning, you might want to opt for some fruit with some protein powder in a shake in the morning. There was a time where I was just really wanting salad this, salad that, stir fries, things that are lighter and just more vegetables, lighter on my system, rather than stuff that's got a lot of cheese and pasta and that's heavy, right? Just giving an example. Anything else you want to say on that? Next question. All right. All right. That's an interesting statement, Tina. When you are awakening, you begin to realize what you cannot see is more real than what you can see. And how do you even recognize what you can't see, or the interest of what you can't see? You start to ask questions, and you start to become curious, and you start to look at and being drawn to material on YouTube, reading material that is maybe different than what your friends and family are interested in. So more spiritual information. So, there's a lot of people that I know in this world, and all they want is to watch the news, read their newspaper, drink their coffee, and they're good. But a lot of the individuals that are starting to awaken are starting to become curious. They are asking questions. Maybe their awakening got sparked by a loved one passing on. And I've actually channeled loved ones that have come through and actually stated that part of their passing was because they were to help spark this awakening in this individual that essentially then came to me for a reading and then hearing from their loved one. Isn't that fascinating? So even when we leave this planet, we are helping others by sparking an awakening within them. I think that's brilliant. Okay, let's come up the pipeline here. Okay. Chances are, if you're even curious and watching this content right now, you're awakening. All right. So Polly is asking, will the spikes continue 5 times high or higher? If so, when? Yes, she just said that in the very beginning, that these spikes are going to continue to increase. And when are they going to increase? She just says now and onwards. She does this with her hand. Now and onwards. She shows me a hand. So I'll hear it, and she's giving me a visual. Now and onwards. She wants us to pay close attention to the Schumann resonances and remember this channeled message, that when the spikes increase, you will remember why they are increasing. Cool. Okay. Cool. Yeah, a lot of us are, when we have these waves of energy come in, some of us, okay, so I'm just going to give a brief description. When you get an ascension wave that comes in, it affects pretty much everybody. You may have issues sleeping, your heart's pounding, you may find it hard to even breathe because you have so much energy coming in through your chakra centers. But then we have individual integration of energy individually. So, I'm ready for this amount. This person is ready for that amount. And so if I'm ready for something a bit more and there isn't another ascension wave scheduled for a while, I don't know if these are scheduled. I'm going to ask that question. Then they will work on me individually. So you may post a question like, is anybody else having these symptoms? And everybody else is like, no, not right now. Well, the reason why is because you are integrating individually because you're ready. So you're ready, and they know you're ready, and they're going to start working on you. I just think that's so cool. I remember asking that because I was like, what is happening? Nobody else around me is experiencing anything, and yet I'm getting a lot of symptoms. Are these ascension waves scheduled? We're just waiting here. She says, rather than using the word scheduled, it is our shift in vibrational frequency here on Earth collectively, but primarily the Earth herself. And when she is ready to anchor another wave, she's saying light codes, then she is all the time she's talking about the earth. Each of us, we have we send out like a beacon. Our frequency is a beacon. Your thoughts, each thought you think is a beacon of energy, right? It's sent out, and it's very easy for them to pick up on it. Like, it was a real rude awakening when my angel basically could hear my thoughts, and I realized that she could hear my thoughts, right? So the earth, as she is ascending, is sending out a vibrational frequency, and this is an indicator as to when she is ready for the next wave of frequency, light codes, energy. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's right, Carrie. If you are curious, and there's different stages of awakening, you know. One is you're just diving in and you're trying to get as much knowledge as you possibly can. Another stage of awakening is you feel like you just want to kind of hunker down at home more. You feel like a bit of a hermit. You don't really care to socialize as much or be around others' energy, likely because your energy is opening and expanding. Your chakras are opening and expanding. And what comes after awakening is ascension. Ascension is then more energy coming in through your chakra centers and filling up your vessel and shifting your vibrational frequency. So when we talk about this new earth, a new earth, or the 5D, you know, let's just work on getting to 4D and then to 5D. So when we're talking about that, we really are in such a process, and it's going to take some time to get there, right? It's not going to be like, I'm there, I'm in the 5D. If you were in the 5D, I would then say to you, can you hone in on high vibrational thought patterns, belief systems, and not allow anyone in your life to affect your vibrational frequency? So if you can, then there you go. You're, I'd say, in the 5D. What would you say to that? She says it's a limited perception of what the 5D is, but she likes it and she's smirking. I love it. Yes. From my interpretation of what 5D is. Yes. She says it's hard to interpret something that has yet to be experienced fully within this vessel, in this three-dimensional reality. But it will take some time for those who choose to come back here on Earth, if you want to call it reincarnations, or to incarnate again, to lift and raise their vibrational frequency. Most of the planet is in the dark or doesn't really care to awaken. So for those of you that are curious, asking questions, and wishing to retain knowledge, she applauds you. And she's clapping. Thank you, dear one. Cool. All right. Do all planets, moons, asteroids have this resonance frequency? If yes, are we also affected by those too? She says yes, to a degree. It's really Earth that she's most interested in speaking about today, because the Earth is what is part of what is affecting our vibrational frequency, our own electromagnetic fields. But what is affecting the Earth's electromagnetic field? That's what she wants you to ask. So then she says the answer to that question is incoming energy, light codes, in which the Earth is ready for. And Some of you are going to be ready to ascend with her, and some of you will not. Some of you will return to Earth. Many of you will not. Some of you are going to be ready to leave Earth into the non-physical. Life does not end past this point. She's smiling. Remember this. You can look at this as just the beginning. There is much to be learned here, dear ones. Cherish these moments within your physical vessels, for it is within a finite time that you have to do so. Thank you. All right. Axel's on the board. When we talk about this reality is physical, what does that mean? According to Alex Collier, okay. Well, when we're talking about this physical reality, we see it as being physical because we think it is. So it's easier to describe it as that. But we all know that everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. Love that. I love how you put the little cloud in there too. Okay, so I remember asking my guardian angel, I said, have I ascended before? And she said, yes. And I said, well, where was that? And she said, on a Pleiadian planet, you ascended over hundreds upon hundreds of lifetimes. And I said, oh, and I know I've been here many times here on Earth, okay? This is an old hat to me. I know it is. I knew it from the moment I came in. My sole purpose when I came in on Earth was to have fun, eat lots of food, frolic, have a good time, delved into alcohol too much, because it was all about, party time in a physical body. And I wasn't one of those people that was looking up in the sky and wishing a UFO would come and take me. No, I was like, I'm going to milk this right to the end as much as I possibly can. And, you know, it hasn't always been a cakewalk for me here in this physical body. It hasn't been. Oh, no, not at all. But I feel like I've tapped into or pulled this higher vibrational frequency in with me through this lifetime. And I think it's because of these Pleiadian lifetimes I've had. And I think that I've done a lot of work on the other side. And some souls that try it out in other vessels, other ETs, is so vastly different than Earth. So when they come to Earth, it's a shock. It is a lot for them. So what we're really here to learn is how to hold and maintain our own vibrational frequency when you fall down, how you're going to shift slowly but surely and get back up. And, you know, just try to stay in the eye of the storm. So everything else will be happening around you, but you're going to hold steady. I mean, it's really honing in on your own vibrational frequency amidst the chaos. Love that. So when one ascends into 5D, do you want to talk a little bit more about that? She says, what would you like to know? It's basically moving into the non-physical, right? So meaning we will have the perception of being in a non-physical vessel. She says, if you wish, or if you wish to be in a physical vessel, you can do so as well. So how do you see the Earth moving forward then, as far as when we're all going to be ascending? Do you see everybody, just some of us are going to be physical, some non-physical, some in between, bouncing back and forth? There are other beings on this planet that already traverse between different dimensions, and it's easy for them to do so. She's using Bigfoot as one of them. She says, why do you think Bigfoot has been so elusive for so long? She's smiling. No, it's not because Bigfoot does not exist. There's evidence and enough of it to show that something is out there. She says some beings have learned the ease and flow of shifting their frequency into the non-physical or out of this reality, and then coming back because they enjoy it so, and they have loved ones here, or they have connections here. She says the fifth dimensional frequency is a wonderful frequency to house within ourselves. You're not reaching for a different place or a new earth, but rather within yourself, so that you're a vibrational frequency, a vibrational match for the changes that are evolving and shifting and changing on the and within the earth herself, if you wish to continue incarnating here. She says some of us, we could go and incarnate on other planets that are already in the fifth dimension, even including here, but it would be uncomfortable for us. Yeah. So it's a slow, gradual process to get there. How will the light coming to Earth affect older people with strong opinions and old programming? She says for some of them, the embedding or infusing of this light will help to break down old ideologies, open them up, soften their hearts, and open them up to seeing a new way of doing things on Earth, being more understanding, and they will choose to evolve at their own pace, at their own level. For others, many others, she's saying, they are choosing to exit the Earth plane, for they are not ready for what is to come. Okay. Yeah, and that's a good thing. And what determines dark or lower vibrational programming or shadow work, whether it's within you or somebody else being shook off? That's you. You decide that. Are you going to focus on the lower vibrational aspects of what's happening in the world and your reality on a consistent basis, or are you going to focus your attention on the lighter vibrational aspects of your reality? I always say this: if we were taught self-love and loving each other in school from an early age, just imagine how different Earth would be, because it would be our predominant focus, our predominant frequency. It would be amazing. But you know what? We can start that right now, and nothing's going to tell you where you are as far as loving yourself and your vibrational frequency. Okay, then looking yourself in the mirror straight in the eye and saying, I love you. I ask all of you guys to do this and see how uncomfortable it feels within you, because the more discomfort, it tells you that you need to be doing that. Why? Because the angels have often said you're going to manifest it into being by regularly doing that. And B, you will slowly shift in that direction, and then all areas of your experience shift. And it's a wonderful place to be. Rachel says, lately she's been feeling like she needs to release, but she's not sure what. Okay, it's coming in from above me. It's your male guardian angel, and he's saying it's what you're feeling is the need to release. Your higher self, your soul, is guiding you to release overactive imaginings or perceptions of how things need to be, are, and need to be. So it's better to simplify things and not get too far down the rabbit hole, because when you delve off and you're just so far down the rabbit hole, you can get a little lost for a little while on ideas, topics, information that really does not garner much in your growth. You think it does, but it really doesn't. Simplify things. Let it go. It's not necessary. Anything else you want to say? Yes, that we love her. Okay? And thank you, dear one. You know what else I noticed, Rachel, is that when I'm going through life, I try to keep things simple. I don't dive into rabbit holes too much. People come to me and they're like, what do you think about the Illuminati and the reptilian order? And I'm like, I don't think about it because it's not a vibrational match for me. So I'm not going to place my attention there. But I don't go down the rabbit hole too much with a lot of different topics unless I'm pulled there. So I'm always sensing, where am I being drawn? Where am I being pulled? And let your higher self take the lead as to what's important in life. So when something comes in and it's really important, and it's important for you to garner more information on that topic, your higher self is really going to highlight that for you. And then you're going to know, okay, move in this direction. There's a difference between being insatiably curious, but then diving down a path that really doesn't garner much for your growth, and in fact you have more questions upon more questions and kind of eluding off track of what's really important, versus being intuitively guided as to what's important in this moment, in this present moment of now. Otherwise, I'm going to relax and enjoy the ride, and my team will guide me when it's time. It's a much lighter way of going through the world. But, Rachel, I'm double your age, so think about that too, right? Really, when I was your age, Rachel, not awake, didn't care, out partying, and that went on for quite some time. So the last 20 years, I'd say, have been a catch-up, and I'm here where I am right now, obviously for a reason. But I just follow their lead. They guide me along the way. Other than eating well, is there anything else we should do to help ourselves and our world? Hone in on your own vibrational frequency. Lift and raise your vibrational frequency. That which you place your attention and focus upon is what you create more of. Also, it is imperative as to what you focus your attention upon, because you're giving your attention, your energy to that. She says there is no surprise as to why Donald Trump is in power. And she's laughing. She says he's also playing his part, his role. You know, when you've got, when things are forced to take strides forward, right? You got things culminating, and they're shifting and changing. You got to have like a fire that's stoking under that. She's talking about a fire stoking under that. So in order to get things going, you got to have a reason why things are going to get going. And he plays a great part in being a part of the fire underneath the culmination and the production of producing different results on planet Earth. Some of it not so good. Much of it has been very good. Different opinions, different thought processes, different roles, individuals taking the lead when they thought they would never step forward in that position and take the lead in that position. Fascinating. Others that decide, she's swearing, She's only doing it because she knows that I would be like this. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do it for the sake of like myself. So F that guy. I'm going to hone in here and I'm going to focus in here because I don't like what I'm seeing out here. So the only thing I can change is me and my frequency. So he's playing a brilliant role, she says. Thanks, Barbara. Hello, lady. Yeah, absolutely. You know, when somebody passes over the veil, when somebody exits their physical body, that can trigger an awakening with individuals. Also, you can look at my situation in that when my health tanked and I was having a hard time eating food and I was in a lot of discomfort and pain, that also really triggered awakening. It didn't happen right away though. I mean, I had that visitation from my guardian angel, but it took about 2 years. I did a lot of crying and woe is me, stuck in that pity party place. But then I just said, okay, well, I can't change this outcome. I've tried everything I can, but the only thing I can change is my mindset about this. And I need to rally for myself to shift out of this because I'm this miserable. So then I actually, way long ago, I actually reached out to a lady that channeled angels, and she lived in a town nearby where I lived. And she said, you're going to be moving by the ocean with a lot of trees, and you're going to be right on the ocean. And at that time, I was out in the middle of the prairie. So here I am. She got that right. So, you know, there's a lot of different things that trigger an awakening. And if I were to tell you from the viewpoint of what I've heard repeatedly from the angels, awakening is the path you want to be on. Okay? It's way, way, way important. All right. Going out and getting sunshine, grounding. Yeah, Barbara, the Mediumship for Beginners course is coming up October 15th until the 30th. So that's 2 weeks with me, Ashley, Paul, Shreya. If you guys haven't seen Shreya's channel, a fantastic channel on YouTube, Shreya McCormick. She's going to be coming into the course as well and helping. And so there's going to be 4 of us. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's only $155 US. And I'll be taking individuals right up until October 14th. We have a great group of people that have joined already. And I'm really looking forward to it. Right before Halloween. I like Halloween because it brings out that childlike feeling within you. That's my top reason why I like Halloween. I like goofing off. I like laughing. I like having fun. I know Ashley Cunningham is doing a Halloween special, so you can look for that on her YouTube channel. Or you can go to her group, Channeling with Love. And yeah, so I think it's going to be brilliant. So when you have a crystal, okay, some of the crystals I put on my lap, my angel says, take that off your lap. And I noticed that my root chakra was closing. And I was like, maybe I should take this one off my lap. But I thought, no, it's supposed to cleanse. It's supposed to cleanse, you know? And so my angel then said, take it off your lap. So if you have a crystal that you're using and you get this tightness in your chest, or you get a tightness or a pullback in your body, don't use it. Just don't use it. You'll feel it in your body if you're to use it. How it will feel is if you should be using it, your root chakra is open, your chakras are open, your chest is nice and relaxed, and it feels really good. So I would look that up online, Mina, and you can go ahead and order that, or you can go and locate that at a crystal shop in your local town. But I know on eBay, they have rough crystals are best. They have the most energy in them. When they're all polished and smooth, they just don't seem to have as much punch to them. And the top crystal that I've been guided to use most often is rose quartz. Second is amethyst, and then clear quartz is another one. But rose quartz is the most high vibrational. And it is what I was asked to place down on my lap, and it started to open and clear my bottom 3 chakra centers. And that was about 3 years ago. It was funny. She says, put it down on your lap. I'm like, what? You want me to what? By your pubic bone. And she was laughing. I'm like, okay. And then, woo, I noticed my chakras started to really move, and it felt great. You want a nice big size crystal. You don't want a little dinky one. You want a nice one, size of your palm. You want to put it right down on your lap and let it do its work. It also helps to ground you. How are the children doing with these surges coming in on planet Earth? Is it easier for them? Children adapt easily, more easily. Older individuals tend to be more rigid, or they buck the current more. Children are surrounded with a lot of light and love. They have a lot of light within them, and a lot of laughter, a lot of joy. There's less bucking the current, you see. So this will be a much easier transition for them. Yes. She's also talking about the coronavirus and how children, they may even contract it, but not much will happen with them. She wants me to talk about me being on the airplane to Kauai, okay? I was looking at all the people with their masks down here, and she said, stop looking over there. And she kept saying that she would diffuse the virus well before it even reached me, and that she was watching over me, that this would not affect me. Yeah, and I was totally fine. And she's many of us, we don't need to fear. She does recommend us wearing face masks to slow it down. Are the face masks going to stop it entirely? No, but it will slow it down. And for those of you who question this, we'll see what you have to say when you don't wear your masks. 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or more down the road when you are still quarantined. This will end when you each choose or wish for it to end. This is all strengthening each of you within, having a stronger resolve moving forward in your lives. Thank you, dear ones. Yeah, Kelly, totally. Like you could be integrating frequencies individually, like within you, or you could also be experiencing a large shift of energy coming in, period. But you see, this is why everybody's so excited about the Schumann resonances, because they're like, why is it spiking? And we're also hearing about, ascension waves. So we're all trying to match up the Schumann resonances with this, right? Hi, Ashley. So for anybody that would like to try out a new group healing, Ashley is trained in angelic Reiki healing, and she has a galactic Reiki healing coming up November 7th. $25, people. It's a no-brainer. When you think about just getting one healing session is what, $75 to $115? So when you look at a group healing, you get to participate with everybody. You get to see what everybody else is feeling, and you get to ask your questions. And Ashley's live answering your questions, and she's channeling also what she sees because she's a medium as well. So if you guys want to sign up for this group healing, it's coming up November 7th. And if you can't be there live, that's totally okay, because she leaves the group open for 48 hours. So you just go in and watch it on your own time. There's no time or space constraints for this energy. As soon as they know you're watching and participating, they come in and they start working on you. Or you can just say, could you work on me tonight when I go to sleep? Thank you. You can do that too. But for those of you that would like to try something different and see what it's like, but also you feel very strongly connected or guided towards galactics, ETs, starseeds, you really want to be, checking this out. It's going to be awesome. I can't imagine what she's going to channel through this one. So what can you do as far as signing up for that? You go to channelingwithlove.com if you want to be a part of that. If you want to join in with the Mediumship for Beginners course, which is coming up on the 15th of October for 2 weeks, that is going to KristenDaviesMedium.com. And I'm going to put all the links in the description below so that you guys can click on it and go check it out. I'm also going to put the link to my group, Intuitive Angel Messages, so that you can participate when I go live in my group. That's awesome, Louise. That's so cool. Hi, Tenzin. Get off work early. That's awesome, Bridgette. That's not the first time you've gotten allowed guidance being given to you. I still remember people coming to me with all sorts of things. They're like, I was driving in the car alone and a female voice out of nowhere said, Kristen Davies, so I'm here now. And then, I channel a reading from her female guardian angel. I said, was it a female voice? She said, yes. I said, well, it's your female guardian angel getting your attention. So it's just wild how they'll get your attention. That's awesome. That's a great question. Indigo would like to know, does the plant Haritaki help with ascension symptoms? She says yes. Any plant that is root-based within the soil, consumed in many different ways, it will help to strengthen your energy in being grounded. She's talking about beets, carrots, potatoes, anything that's in the soil and locally grown, organic, without sprays, preferably, if you can find those within your local area. She's also talking about spring water, which comes from the earth, not consuming or drinking water from your tap. Don't touch that. They've been telling me that for 15 years. Don't touch that. Cool. What's the best way to protect oneself from others' negative or low vibrational energy or vibrations? First would be to take your attention and move it in a different direction. That's what she's saying. What if they can't do that, or they feel like they can't do that? What if they're in tight, small quarters with them? She says you will want to call in Archangel Michael to come and live in your home in order to vacuum your home and to help lift and raise your vibrational frequency and those vibrational frequencies of those who live within your home, and to shield your home from outside low vibrational frequency, collective conscious frequencies. Sometimes you need help. Sometimes you need backup. So do not be afraid to call upon those with whom you feel in alignment with. If it's not Archangel Michael, maybe it's your grandmother, maybe it's a friend that passed over. Call on them. They will bring the backup with them to assist you, to help you, to guide you. When you raise in your own frequency, this will disrupt those within a lower vibrational frequency around you. They might get restless or more irritated just being in your higher vibrational frequency. Make no mind to this. She's talking about some individuals may fall away out of your lives, but in will come those who are more of a vibrational match for your vibrational frequency, for you to carry out friendships and close familial ties and connections with. Well, that's awesome. I mean, I don't think we're going to ask why, Mina. You took one of my courses. That right there tells you why. And you're ready, right? You're obviously ready. They don't come to you if you're not ready. If you're relaxed and you're open, they're like, okay, let's go in there. Let's start relaying messages to her. And it, like, as soon as they know the door's open, Mina, they come. You know this. You've known it for some time. Okay, so the difference between channeling and trans-channeling is trans-channeling, you're completely taken, I would say up to what, 90%, 80, 90%, roughly around there. Some people go more than that. They just step aside out of their bodies while another energy takes over the body. I personally don't do trans-channeling. However, the difference between that and channeling is, like right now, I'd say Agnes is doing around a 10 to 20%er with me, but sometimes they infuse through my body at around 40%, and that's when you'll see my pupils change, and some people tell me my eye color changes. But so, you know, that's what people see. Some people see orbs around me. Sometimes I see orbs around other students in my courses. It's cool. I'm like, oh, there's the energy that we're talking to. Now I'm seeing it with my physical eyes rather than my spiritual eyes. So, you know, really, your higher self, when you're channeling your higher self, it comes through the top of your head. You feel a lot of pressure, and then you just channel the words and write them down. That, I would say, is channeling. You're channeling. Now, if you completely exited your body, or, you know, the energy just took over, and then you were on camera, or this energy was writing down on paper, then I would say you're a trans-channeling. That is a great question, Nina. How can I transcend the limitations within my classroom and do what's best for my students and myself? Feels so heavy. My guardian angel is saying that it's going to feel heavy in the first while until things get settled. So just know that that's needed. That's just what's going to happen. People need to process coming back to school, and it's just going to be this way. But it will gradually settle down over time. She's talking about new norms will be created. This will just be the new normal. But there will be more ease with it. She's asking you to call in Archangel Michael into your classroom so that he can vacuum and help lift the vibrational frequency in the classroom. He'll really help to work on and help lift the vibrational frequencies of the students and the overall environment in the classroom. When he comes in, he's also going to put other angels to work. So I'm assuming this is the children's guardian angels and their angelic teams? Yes, and others. Okay, so he'll pull in other angels to help him in your classroom. And direct, if you want to call it that, ask for help from their guardian angels. Something just hit me right in the forehead. So how do you know when Spirit's trying to communicate with you guys? You'll get all of a sudden a rush of energy up beside your head. You might notice that all hearing goes on one side of your head. Or you'll be going along and an energy will hit you and you get kind of lightheaded. You might feel pressure or warmth. These are all the things that I teach in my courses. And so now I'm just seeing who's entered my energy field. Archangel Michael saying, know that I will look after all of them should you call me forth. You have the free will. So basically, if you request as the teacher of a classroom, you can call in Archangel Michael and he will help you, help everyone in the classroom. Usually you would say that it would be a parent that has the free will to ask on a child's behalf, which you can, and you can call in Archangel Michael into the classroom that way. But if you're a teacher, what he's saying is that you have the free will consent to call me forth in order to assist you and the students and assist you with the students. And he says he will act on his behalf to help each of you and the overall environment, energy within the classrooms. You could even just call them to look after the whole school is what I would do. That's personally what I do. Your classroom and the whole school. Everybody. Oh yeah. He'd love that. No wonder he's going to call in other angels. Do you want to say anything else? Know that I love you and cherish you forevermore for this act of kindness and caring, stepping forward into this role of teaching our little ones, our adolescents. You are bright lights upon this world, stepping forward in this way. We are proud of you. We admire you. We are happy for your assistance with the children on planet Earth. It is important for them to get out of the home, to have a new sense of normalcy, to interact with their friends, even if it's from a distance. This pandemic and this way of being will not last forever. But as Agnes has stated previously, it is in your hands as far as how long it lasts for. If you negate or choose to ignore, he's calling the protocol of face masks, then you will prolong this spreading of this virus. Know that also by you calling me forth into these classrooms, I will help to shield and protect each of you from this virus. Thank you, dear ones. He's also talking about not only the virus, but he will help to shield and protect you from the fear, the overwhelming fear of the virus. Whew, that's pretty awesome. You're super welcome, Rachel. Okay, I'm going to take one last question down at the bottom, and it is, Cindy. How do I reach my angel guides? And how do I find out the names of your guardian angels? Names are secondary. Secondary because it's about you picking up on their frequency around you, first and foremost. Well, first and foremost is that you talk to them. And you can talk to them in your mind, out loud, or on paper. And they'll hear it all. There's nothing they don't know that's going on in your life, okay? And that's a real surprise for me when I first came out the gate. I was like, oh my God, they know everything. Now, in private moments, they're not like huddled up next to you in the bed. They're in the next room, but they're aware of everything that's going on. They're just at a very high vibrational frequency. So how do you reach them? You reach them all the time. I'm chatting to Agnes left, right, and center. Poor Agnes. She's got me on speed dial. Or I should say I got her on speed dial. And how do you find out their names? You'll just say, I'd like you to place your name within my mind, please. And then your role, your job, is to sit still, quiet mind. And the first name that starts to form in your mind, that's their name. Okay? So let's go with Cindy's guardian angels' names. Ben, short for Benjamin. Tara. She says she's trying to get me to say her name similar or like green Tara. She's not green Tara, but she's saying like green Tara. So then I'm like, Tara. Got it. That's easy. And then you have a whole group of angels that work alongside your guardian angels. And they're all helping you with whatever you want. So let's all take this time, this moment right now, and ask your team for 3 things you want help with, okay? And then later on, write down on a piece of paper everything you want help with. If you need an angel for abundance, call that in. Angel for abundance. I want to bring in abundance. Now, as soon as you do that, your job is to take your mind off of all lack thinking and fear and worry about money. Can you do that? Can you do that for a month? Take a deep breath, and you're going to have to really work on that, because if you keep focusing on lack thinking and worry about money or abundance, it's going to buffer their energy from coming in and helping you, okay? So you can help this abundance angel by placing your attention on just relaxing and enjoying life. Anytime you start to move into what is, start shifting in a different direction, because, and then ask your angels to take the worry and the fear of focusing on what is. Because if you focus on more of what is, you're going to create more of what is. And in order to help manifest and co-create abundance with this abundance angel, you need to shift your attention onto abundance affirmations and shift your attention away from lack or worry or fear, okay? If anything, fear lowers your frequency. And that's not a good conductor for manifestation. And as you are the manifester of your reality, it's really important to lift and raise your frequency, even in the smallest ways. So when my angels asked me to do this many moons ago, I would just say, okay, I'm not worrying for a month. I promised myself, I'm just not going to do it. That's the old way of doing things. My angels asked me to do this new way. And how many times I had to remind myself 1,000,000,001. And I would just go to the local coffee shop with the last remaining money that I had. And I'd, focus on the present moment. And I said, I'm trusting my angels to bring in the abundance needed for me. And it came in, and it came in, and it came in unexpected ways, in ways I was not imagining. And I would repeatedly say, all of my needs are met abundantly for me now and always. All of my needs are met abundantly for me now and always. And I would repeat. Money flows easily and effortlessly into my bank account. And I'm going to wait and watch as it does. I don't know how, but the how's not up to me. The how is up to them. How's not up to me. I just know it's coming. So repeat. And if you need, if you want to ask for help with career or clarity moving forward as to what is the best path to take, bring it on in. So ask for 3 things that you want help with right now in your mind. Just say it off to them. They'll hear it and they'll all get going. What they tell me is that they work behind the scene of your life to bring it into fruition. And then later on, you're going to write down a nice long list. The abundance book Love that book. That book does wonders. $8 of pure gold by John Price. Go and buy it. If you don't like the word God, as I didn't back in the day, because I found it kind of biblical, I said source instead. And you work from that book for 40 days and you don't miss a day. And you watch as things shift and change. If you need help with grounding, if you need help with your career path, if you need help with clarity, say it. It's not a matter of believing, it's a matter of asking. And that's the most important. Ask. Ask. And I remember in the beginning, I would ask for the same thing over and over. And Agnes would say to me, you just need to ask us once. I'm like, okay. So I was like, okay, I'll ask her one time. That's all I need. Once I've asked, now I focus here. Don't focus on the lower vibrational aspects of your reality. Shift, change, move. Get up out of the gutter. There's only one person that can do it. There's only one, and that's you. You and me. We are the only ones that can do it. Oh, Sheena, you little rascal. Okay, Agnes, you want to say anything else about this? She says, look forward to spikes in the Schumann resonances moving forward, dear ones. And know that each of you are divinely watched over and guided in all areas of your seeming realities. Know that you are cherished and loved, dear ones. Fret not, do not despair or drop in frequency too low for too long. Like Kristen, this dear one, Kristen, has stated, only you and you alone can make the changes, the necessary changes and the decisions and choices, action steps to change this within your lives. She says lives, okay? Incoming frequency has started. For some of you, it is more direct than for others. We're going to have a break in December, end of November into December. And then she says we build up momentum and we start going again in January. And then come spring, we will be noticing a lot of peaking, a lot of ascension symptoms as ascension progresses forward, upward. She says forward, and then she goes upward. Have a great Sunday, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you this Friday with myself and Ashley Cunningham as we're going to channel our guardian angels. Can't wait. Love ya. Bye-bye.